Welcome. I'm Jennifer Graham, Vice President of Workplace Strategies and Design at ColorArt.
And I'm Sue Harkenhauser with Steelcase. I'm your applications consultant here in St. Louis.
So ColorArt announced earlier this year on Facebook that we were going to respond in our space to the pandemic. And so what we did is we took a look and we did a lot of readjusting, we did some reusing, and we are reimagining several different things in the space. So what we wanted to do today was bring that information to you, let you know what has happened in the space and why it's happened in the space and what really makes us different.
I think next we're going to take a walk through the showroom, Jen.
We're going to use the showroom as a tool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at the open collaborative area over by the design team. So this area is a great example of how we can embody a lot of the different design principles. So the first, me plus we. So you've seen a lot of us over here working by ourselves, and maybe then Jen comes over and joins me. So we've done that actual working from focus to collaboration right in one area. It's also a great example of open and enclosed. So we have several walls, so we're shielded, but this whole open area in the front allows us to be much more inviting, and it allows for better air circulation, and of course it merges the digital and the physical. And then Jen's going to show us the enclave adjacent to this space and how that meets the different design principles.
So this is our Via Enclave, and it actually has a mediascape which is very similar to this one, except it's a standing height mediascape. So you could come in here and take a phone call, you could camp out for an hour, 2 hours. It's not a home base for anyone, but it can be used throughout the day at any point, and then the technology allows you to actually connect with people that are not in the office.
So just on the other side of that enclave, we have another space. So this has more of a desk set up, but it still works really well for me plus we. The room has whiteboards, so I can do a Zoom call on here and I can actually illustrate my ideas behind me on the marker board. And then it's great because it balances the open and closed. We have this great open space right here, but then this is enclosed. So if I need to do a Zoom call and I need to control the visual activity that's happening around me and the acoustical activity, this allows me to get that separation. It's nice and light and bright, and it gives nice definition in between the open areas and creates that ecosystem of spaces that give us choice and control.
So we're at the bivy table in the design area, and this can be used a lot of times for me, we, because a lot of people like to camp out here and work for the day, but we do meet here, and we do then have the graded in technology so that if we are on Zoom, we can see the people at home, or they can see us, and we can still have a large work area. Plus we can all still stay 6 feet apart at all times.
So we're going to take a look at moving over to the analog part, the physical part, and that's the whiteboard. So adjacent to this, we can toggle back and forth between whiteboard work and sharing content digitally or virtually. And then our whiteboards are mobile, so we could actually take these back to our desk or back to a team space. It's not fixed. So this is a really great example of fixed to fluid.
So this is one of my favorite areas to demonstrate for clients. It has almost every one of the
4 design principles.
The 4 design, thank you, Sue. So would you help me demonstrate?
You betcha.
By taking this green home. So this is an awesome space. This can be a standing height desk. It can also be any height that you would like it to be. If you are tiny, it can be super short. If you are not, it can be super tall. So these desks are awesome also because you can pull them together. The other day I came over and the team had pulled them into the center to have one big long work surface, and that seems to work great too. These also have rollers on them so they can be taken anywhere in the space. So this is a unique application. We did this because coming back after a pandemic, you don't know how people are going to feel in the space. So this could have been a separation device for the 2 people between this person and that person. This team opted not to do that because they love seeing each other and they're facing away from each other. So they didn't feel like that was any risk at all.
I've never seen this application before in any of the Steelcase design studios. What I love about it is that now you have a backdrop. So if you're doing your Zoom call, we can illustrate the ideas, kind of manage the activity. But it's like this really cool mobile storage piece that we could move out of the way, right?
Yes, it could actually be moved anywhere over here if we wanted people to not walk through our area. It could be moved over here to say, just to signal leave me alone for a little bit. I mean, this can be used for so many things. I love it. So in the redesign of the construction team's space, a couple of things we wanted to take into account for was, let's move people further apart. Let's face them opposite directions so that people aren't facing each other. Let's give them just a little bit more of a buffer between each other, because there is not a divider here. This still allows for the 6-foot space. These can be adjusted up and down, height-wise. The people that can be in this, these two spaces can actually work together, they can talk together. And honestly, we put a temporary screen here. We are not intending that it stays forever, but for this time, we're gonna have a temporary screen just for safety. And what we did with this space is we used the height adjustable tables that we had. We went ahead and reused them over in the IT area. And now everyone over there was able to change directions. They all face one direction now, which is also safer. And they all have a height adjustable table. So they get the mobility that we all have. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch the video. We would like to welcome you into our space anytime. Just give us a call, make an appointment, and we'd be happy to walk through the space and talk about possibilities for your space.